How's it going, friends? Cody here. So I am going to be doing a fairly large project inside of my house. So the house that I currently live in was built in 1925, and it has a mixture of electrical conductors in the house. That side of the house over there is running knob and tube. Part of the kitchen is running Romex. The laundry room is running knob and tube on a 30 amp circuit. So to say that this place is a soup sandwich is an understatement. Now, before I go further, and I want to disclose, I am not an electrician. I've never done professional electrical work. However, I do have a very basic concept of what I need to do. I have the tools I need to do this job successfully. I've done other electrical work on personal stuff in the past. So I'm not super worried about what I'm doing. Obviously, when I'm working on wires, I'm going to be cutting off the main breaker to the house. And just as like extra caution, because this is one of the things I treat like a gun. You always treat every gun like it's loaded. I treat every electrical line as if it was live. I know that might trigger some electrical workers, but I'm also not a professional. I'm doing this in my own house, so I can take as much time or as little time as I want. So I am using insulated tools for everything, just as an extra, whatever. You guys will definitely see why I'm taking a lot of care with the work that I'm doing in this house, because let me tell you, the best way I can explain whoever built this house and lived in it since the 1920s, at some point there was a family tree, branches out, ended up becoming like a family wreath at some point. That's the best way I can explain it. I'm going to be going over kind of the circuits that I have in the house, kind of what my goals are and such like that. So yeah, so the main steps that I did that I've taken so far, let me show you. So the first thing I did was I drew up a CAD model, Cody aided design. And this right here is my entire house layout with where all the electrical, well, where I want every electrical outlet to end up being, lights and wherever a load is required. So this is to scale. I LiDAR scanned my whole house with my phone using Polycam. So I got all the measurements I needed. I have it somewhere else, the scale of each of these blocks, but this is my whole house. Shut the fuck up. I'm also gonna be going upstairs. I'm gonna show you guys a few electrical code violations, NEC violations. There's quite a bit in this house. It's kind of sad because it's a beautiful house. It's an old Craftsman, but the house I guess was built by Craftsmen, but after that it definitely was not. So I got that all drawn up, and I'm just gonna show you kind of what the let me start off with the most flagrant code violation. So here is my breaker panel right here. We got wires coming in here. There is something going on right there. Don't know, but we'll just focus on what is mine. So the first things first is this was all, and I labeled this. This was all incorrect, which is like not good. So I did everything. You could see there's a mixture of 20 amps, 15 amps, mixture of, I don't know, brands. So you can see right here, we have like a 20 amp receptacle or a 20 amp breaker feeding living room, master bedroom, office, master bathroom light, and office heater, right? Dishwasher, garbage disposal. This one right here, this 15 amp service, feeds the garage and the laundry room and the bathroom over here. 15 amp service. That's over there. The garage is over there. So there is a splice in this PVC pipe that's secured in one spot, if you can even call it secure, right there, going all the way up. Comes all the way down, and I'm like, all right, I want to get at least a 60 amp sub panel out there. I could just run it through this conduit, right? Right? Conduit? Wrong. This raw cable right there just is, I mean, first of all, there's lots of tension on the cable right there. And it's, I don't know, what would you call that? 4 inches below the ground, no conduit? Yeah. Again, I'm not an electrician, but I'm pretty damn sure that is not to code. So apologies if I sound bad. So this is where all of the wires come into the house. Check this out. They all get fed in right there. Isn't that awesome, guys? So, whole fucking rat's nest of things up here. I mean, splintered wood everywhere. That's to the garage. I wish I was making that up. This is just the beginning. So that's what I'm dealing with. Obviously, I don't know if this is against code because there's no ladder access to the attic, but this is still very fucking sloppy. It's not protecting the wire, and I know that's kind of the big thing about code, because you want to protect the wire. Could have drilled a fucking hole in the joist, but no. At least this was, I mean, could be considered acceptable, but it's very fucking sloppy in my opinion. I mean, where are all these wires going? They're all going right there for what? It just doesn't make any sense. So, we have three 12 gauge wire going down right there. I don't know what for. We got 14 gauge wire going down again to what? I don't know. Knob and tube going down there. And then we got this knob and tube right here feeding the dryer all the way down there. Also, sewer pipe not connected. So I'm just going to get to work. There's a lot that needs to be done up here. Bat insulation on top of knob and tube. Code violation. Running Romex on top of joists. Could be a code violation. Again, I'm not an electrician, but it's still very fucking sloppy in my book. So I've done some cleaning up right here. Obviously, I'm going to have to come back up with like a larger shop vac, but the main debris, there was a whole box of nails dumped right there from the roofers. Fucking roofers. Check this out. You dumped this shit in my fucking house, dude. Lazy sacks of shit. As you can see, I got a lot more to go. And this is all I got. There's so much debris and so many loose nails that I can't use an insulation vacuum. I rented one. I called them saying, hey, it's a lot worse than I thought. And they said, just take it back. We'll give you a refund. So shout out to Bunce Rental in Tacoma, Washington for giving me that refund. Shame on whoever owned this place before us, man. We're gonna do it right. So my plan is to vacuum everything that is against the knob and tube, and then use this very short shovel to scoop out the majority of this and throw it in this bin, and then take it out, dump it out into contractor bag, and rinse repeat. Now you might be curious, why don't I just bring the contractor bag up here? It's because I don't want it to tip over. That's the main reason. And these slide over the joist super nicely, so That's why I'm doing it the way I am. I'm just doing damage control because this absolutely sucks. So I got two of these bins completely filled up with stuff. This guy right here is a game changer. This is the Klein N100 mask. It has replaceable filters on the inside. Does its job fairly well. It is super nasty out there. So now comes the fun part. Oh, also, I don't know if I updated. We ended up going to the store and I got myself a Channel Lock. I think it's an 8-gallon or 10-gallon shop vac. That's been a game changer, especially in like the corners where there's a lot of knob and tube and I don't really want to get my shovel and disturbing those wires. So the shop vac's been working really nice. The static electricity up there was pretty shocking to me. Rock wool insulation compacted in there. So gotta scoop that out, transfer it to that trash can. I'm gonna have these contractor bags in there. If you know more of an efficient way to do this, please let me know. And like I said, I'm not using the insulation like vacuum. I know some of you are probably like, you use the insulation vacuum and all that. There's too much wood debris up there, way too many nails. As far as where I'm at in the house, I know I am like right in this area right here. So I got basically half the house done. The bedroom right here thankfully has matte insulation or batt insulation, and I don't believe there's knob and tube up there, but I have to double check that. If it does have knob and tube and has that batt insulation, that is going to have to go. So I'm not going to fill myself dumping this into the trash can because I left the tripod upstairs, but it's basically going in contractor bags and it's going to be with these guys right there. I got 3 bags of it. And then after that, take it to the dump and then I start planning out my home runs.